Hi out there in the YouTube land. Welcome back to the video on Pisces. So if you are dating a Pisces, here are some attributes and qualities that are associated with them. Okay? So we're going to break it down into its constituent components like we did for all the other 11 signs. And we want to remember that it is mutable. And that mutability means they're very, very adaptable. Okay? And because they are the fishes, they can be a little bit stuck. And I don't mean stuck like fixed, but I mean stuck in, it's two fishes swimming in opposite directions, meaning that kind of like a Gemini, they have a dark side and they have a light side. But unlike a Gemini where they kind of flip back and forth, those constant forces are in constant battle within their psyche. And because they're a water sign, they're also very, very intuitive. They're very, very emotional. Okay? And their ruling planet is Jupiter, which is, a little bit of the party hardy. And, the sun in mythology, when it comes to Jupiter, was Bacchus, which is the god of wine. So a lot of people who are Pisces can tend to have problems with alcohol or substance abuse. Now, I'm not saying this applies to everybody because everyone's chart is different. And other chart placements, like if you are a Pisces but your moon is in Capricorn, you might have a lot more strength of will and be able to conquer those kind of demons that are telling you to do that kind of bad stuff. But if you're a Pisces with your moon in Pisces, then there's nothing to combat that. So Pisces, as they are the fish, are very intuitive, very emotional. The co-ruling planet of Pisces is Neptune, which Neptune rules over kind of romance, like when you have like a candlelit dinner with the candles and the atmosphere is all romantic and peachy and just it feels so warm and fuzzy. That's a Pisces, okay? They're very much about that emotional kinship, which is a part of their nature. And they can be very, very, of all of the 12 signs, very empathetic because they are very psychic. Like they can tap into your feelings. Meaning, if you're really negative and pessimistic, they, kind of like a chameleon, will be that way. Meaning, if there's a Pisces hanging out with a bunch of jocks and they're all talking about sports, they can just fit right in. They can just be like, yeah, the Colts, 45. Like they're winning. Like, go Colts. But at the same time, they could be hanging out with a bunch of people who are in drama or ballet and just fit right in. Because Pisces is kind of like, I like to call it, the chameleon of the zodiac. Because they are so empathetic. They pick up on your vibrations emotionally and they become like their environment. It's not that they're trying to be deceitful, it's that they really become like their environment. Meaning, if there's a green wall and they're around it, they become green. It's not their fault. It's who they are. It's a part of their nature. Okay? And that Jupiterian energy gives them that expansive wisdom. Jupiter is the spiritual sign. It is best friends with the sun. So they're very spiritual. And I would recommend going into the Nakshatras for this because there is more further subdivision where some of the signs might be less spiritual versus more spiritual. But for generality, the whole sign is fairly spiritual, but they can tend to care a lot about what other people think of them, meaning expectations, their family. Those kind of expectations will weigh very heavily on their heart because, like I said, they are the chameleon and they want to be who you expect them to be. And, like They're very, very spiritual, meaning they're going to be into religion or spirituality or tarot or ghosts, or they're going to be into something that is deep, something that is not necessarily normal from like a Western perspective. But that's because they are so psychically in tune with their environment that they know deep in their heart, deep in their soul, that there is more to this world than meets the eye. Now, unfortunately, because they are that chameleon, they can fall prey to expectations and desires and needs and wants of other people around them. Meaning they could be very, very Christian and, have a high regard for the Christianity just because their family is that way. And they can be a little bit dogmatic in that, which kind of is contradictory because they're so expansive and they know that there is more to this world. And yet at the same time, they can see things that are in books, for example, the King James Version, as being the law. And that's, the way it's got to be. There's no questioning that. But what a lot of Piscean people need to realize is that through meditation, through fully understanding yourself, you can have a better understanding of the world around you. Because, even Jesus said that, be in the world, but do not be a product of it. That means bring to the table what you have to bring. And don't let social expectations weigh you down and form who you are. Let your divine spark shine through to help the world. Bring your own creativity to the table. And don't let those expectations of other people mold you and force you into this rigid structure where there's all these different laws and regulations based upon things that are written down in a book. They're very, very empathetic, like I said. So they're going to pick up on your mood, like instantaneously. And it's not like they're trying to be invasive into you. It's that, as I said, they are one of the most empathetic, psychic signs of all of the zodiac signs. They're a water sign. And they can just pick up on that. Like they know, kind of like a Scorpio with the lie detector test. They'll feel your authenticity and if you're being honest or not. And they're mutable, meaning with that chameleon quality. They're going to combine all of the energies that are around them into who they are. And it's not that they're being dishonest, it's that they become a part of their surroundings, which makes them, really, really sociable. It makes them very good in social settings. A lot of people will like them because they literally become like a mirror of who they are around. So, people love themselves, right? So if they're a mirror image of those people, well, then of course the people are going to love them. And Pisces need to learn that chameleon nature, it's a gift, okay? It gives you the ability to tap into the energies that the other people are feeling. And that mutability will mean that you're so adaptable that you can adjust and acclimate yourself to whatever environment you're put in. But be wary of what environment you put yourself in. More than any other sign, because they are so psychic and they just they absorb all of the psychic energy around them. They can find being around other people really, really draining. Like they can find that it takes a lot out of them, where they might need some time alone. They might need some time to just self-reflect. Because they absorb the energy of people around them so strongly, they might need some alone time just to recharge, to kind of space out, to just stare at a wall, to just, Pisces are known for doing that. Like they can just kind of space out and like be deep in contemplation for like an hour. And they might think it's like 5 minutes, but it was a whole freaking hour. where they were just thinking about nothing, really. Like just recharging their battery, just because other people can weigh so heavily on them. They need that alone time to really like know what they themselves want, because even when they're alone, even when they aren't surrounded by the chaos of the world around them, they still have that Pisces duality of the fish swimming in opposite directions, which is like a tear. It tears them apart inside because they aren't sure what direction to go in. And a lot of times they will seek other people out to give them validation for what direction they should go in. But don't do that. That's a mistake for Pisces. Like, they can be manipulated by their partner. Like, so if you're dating a Pisces, give them that alone time, you know? Like, don't just tell them what you want and it's got to be that way, because, you know, because they're so empathetic, they'll side with you if they love you, if you're in a relationship with them. They'll want you to be happy. And that chameleon-like nature will mirror what you want, and it'll tell them what they want, even though it's not really what they want in their heart. So they need time alone to self-reflect and to meditate, to recharge their battery. As I said, it can be so draining being around other people because, you know, we just all want so much from other people. Like all the attention, all of that. Like we just want validation. And they'll give it to us. A Pisces will do that. Like they'll give you that validation. But it's so draining on them that they need time, like I said, to recharge. And yeah, they're the spiritual sign. So they're like the priest of the zodiac. But at the same time, they can fall prey to the dogmas that surround them, where they're not even sure of what they know, because they are just chameleon. They're chameleon or mirroring what is expected of them. And they want the people who they have a high regard for to think highly of them. And if that means giving them what they want, then they'll do that. They can be very self-sacrificing and, you know, putting others above their own needs. And if you're with a Pisces, know that their symbol is the fish. So just like a fish, the harder you try to grab onto one of them, the more they will slip out of your fingers. So if you love one, give them that sense of freedom. Give them that sense of trust. And if they really, really love you, then at the end of the day, they come back. They swim home. Okay? But if you are controlling and dogmatic, they will not like that. That'll just be too draining on them, and they will just swim away. So, I hope that you have found this helpful for dating your Pisces partner. And yeah, give this a thumbs up and subscribe below. And I will see you in future videos. That concludes the 12 sun sign, or this does apply to your moon or even your ascendant. So even Venus and all of the other signs, they do apply, but more so if it's your sun, your moon, or your ascendant. You will find that these qualities that I mentioned will be more applicable. But mwah, I'll see you in future videos. Much love and namaste.